Followed. John had always been a man of routine. He woke up at the same time every morning, took the same route to work, and spent his evenings at home reading. But one day, everything changed. He started to feel like he was being watched. It started as just a nagging feeling in the back of his mind, but as the days went by, it grew stronger and stronger until he couldn't shake it. No matter where he went, John felt eyes on him. He tried to ignore it, telling himself that it was just his imagination playing tricks on him, but the feelings only intensified. He started to see shadows moving in the corners of his vision, and every time he turned to look, there was nothing there. John began to feel like he was losing his mind, and he was terrified. He started to take different routes to work, but the feelings only got worse. No matter where he went, he felt like he was being followed. He began to avoid public spaces, but the shadows still followed him. John was trapped in his own mind, and he didn't know how to escape. One night, after another fitful night of trying to sleep, John decided that he needed to do something about it. He set up surveillance cameras around his house, determined to find out who or what was following him. He watched the footage over and over, but he never saw anything that could explain that feeling. John's obsession with finding the source of the shadows consumed him. He began to neglect his work, his relationships, and his own health. He became a shell of the man he once was, consumed by paranoia and fear. One night, as John was sitting in his living room, he heard a noise coming from upstairs. His heart was racing. He grabbed a nearby weapon and crept up the stairs. His hands were shaking as he prepared to confront whatever was there. He found an old man, a homeless man who had been living in his attic. The man was mumbling to himself, and John realized that he was the one that was following him. The man told him that he was convinced that John was the only one that could save him from the shadows, the same shadows that John felt were following him everywhere. John was mad. It was the old man that was mad. John was filled with a mixture of relief and sadness as he realized that he wasn't losing his mind. It was the old man all along that had been following him, making him feel crazy. The days went on, the weeks, the months. But the shadows never left him. He still felt them. Even after the old man was gone, he tried to move on, to forget what had happened, but the feeling only grew stronger. John became more and more isolated, and he was consumed once again by the shadows that he thought were forgotten when the old man was found. In the end, John was found dead in his home, his body cold and lifeless. The official cause of death was a heart attack. John was a victim of his own fears, and he was never able to escape the shadow that followed him.